Hello, hello friends! It's Janie Backer with Inspired Stamping, and thank you for joining me for live Stampin' Chat with Janie. I'm so glad you're joining me on this beautiful September day. We always stamp live on Tuesdays at noon, and I cannot believe that it is already September 21st. Time is flying by. It's crazy. I'm gonna just pull up my laptop so I can see comments. All right, that is last week. Where's this week? Here we go. Okay, so is that the right page? It's always so interesting to work with Facebook. Okay. So let me know, what is your favorite season? Do you love fall? Is that one of your favorite seasons? You're excited for winter? So we are on the countdown. We only have 10 days left of celebration. Only 10 days left. So do not miss out on this fun opportunity. We have all sorts of wonderful, fun gifts that you can select for your orders. And we've got our sheep dies that go with our counting sheep stamps, our Feels Like Home stamp set, Textures and Frames stamp set, the Marvelous Delicate Dahlias, and the Host stamp set in your words. But just like the Ginsu knives, that's not all, folks. We also have the fabulous Peaceful Prince Designer Series paper and the highly popular Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper. So many cute options. Let's see. Doesn't look like anything's happening on my camera, but I guess I should just trust. I don't know if the internet is having a little problem, but it looks like it's working. I don't know. So we have all these awesome products that are free with a $50 order. This is a 12 by 12. These are 12 by 12 packs of paper. Oh, good heavens. I forgot. The Beautifully Penned Designer Series paper is also a free option with a $50 order of product. Yikes, can't forget that. So 3 different Designer Series papers that you can select. And the In Your Words is a free host stamp set. A hostess is someone who has a $300, well, this is awarded to a $300 order for an individual person or a person who hosts a group order. Aren't those marvelous? I love mixed fonts. And there are so many fonts and great sentiments in this stamp set. Let me move this light. It's glaring and frustrating me. Okay, there we go. And then Delicate Dahlias is free with a $100 order. And these stamp sets are each free with a $50 order or combinations of such orders. So if you ordered $150, you could pick all 3 stamp sets. Or if you had a $100 order, you could order or request the counting sheep and the sheep dies. Each are $50 value. So this ends on September 30th. All sorts of fun options. There is also the free, with a $100 order, is the Summer Shadows dies. and it coordinates with the Shaded Summer Stamp Set in our annual catalog, which is so cool to have that extra tool to go with stamps that you may have already ordered or just admiring in the annual catalog. And once these are gone, you will not be able to get these dies. This is the only time. So if you love the Shaded Summer Stamp Set, you will want to get these dies. They go beautifully together. So, but September 30th is the last day, and everything as wall supplies last. So if you seriously want some of these items, don't wait. When things are, when inventory is exhausted, that is it. They're gone, gone, gone. And it will be sad. So today we are going to create with the Delicate Dahlias. And see, I can see there's some people watching, but you just haven't popped in yet to say hello. And I think we're going to incorporate this sheet of the beautifully penned designer series paper. I love those leaves. And let's see, I think I have, we'll work with that. If it's already been chopped, we'll just keep chopping it. Right? That's my motto. I also have an assortment of beautiful swap cards that I want to show you. So I will be posting an online event for you to join me and see some fabulous cards. So this is our distinctive stamps, which is well, it's two-step, but where's the distinctive label? I'm not seeing it. Anyway, it looks photorealistic. That is the image, and what the stamp looks like is a photorealistic. I hope the camera's picking that up. It's just beautiful. Look how tough and sticky those are. And put it on my clear block. What is your favorite color dahlia? And there are so many gorgeous, gorgeous dahlias. I am going to choose Rich Razzleberry today to go with my Pear Pizzazz. There we go. Okay. And we have the photorealistic leaf and the leaf outline. So I'm going to go ahead and mount both of those on my stamps. I mean, on my blocks. The stamps on my blocks. And we are going to do Sending Heartfelt Sympathy because that has been part of this week. We need some sympathy cards. This block is way bigger than I really needed, but I grabbed it first, so we're gonna go with it. All right, let's see. Not seeing those comments quite yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our basic white cardstock for our stamping, and our Rich Razzleberry will be our card base. It's just way down here in my drawer. All right. Let me get my paper trimmer. So I've been busy this week working on details for the retreat coming up. It's almost a month, 4 weeks away, month away. Okay, so we're gonna make this 5 by 3 3/4, and then I'm gonna put a Pear Pizzazz layer behind here. Let's check my scraps and see if I have some Pear Pizzazz in here already, because that's the kind of stamper I am. Hallelujah. There's some Pear Pizzazz. Once upon a time I must have needed some card bases and it was left over. Okay, so we're going to cut this card front layer will be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and I'm sorry, I can try to cut a little more sedately and not shake the table and the camera. Oh boy. So let's just check this out. I might even want this smaller, but what do you think? I'm totally creating on the fly here with you, and I'm thinking I want to do some embossing. So let's get our embossing folders out and take a peek at our options. I'm thinking, I know there's this Greenery. I'm thinking maybe that Greenery would be the look that I'm hoping for. Not evergreen trees, not today. Not bricks. Oh, snowflakes. Maybe next week. Okay, so thinking how do we want to do this? Because our card, I was thinking the card would open that direction, but that's, so it'd open this way. But how can I emboss this and not get embossing on the other side? That's my question. Well, if I just emboss it that far down, and then I could put DSP and ribbon down here. Let's try it. Get my embossing plate on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're going to crank this through. Oh, to make sure I get this right in line. There we go. Okay, so I asked in my first part of today's live, let me know what your favorite season is. Are you fond of fall? Well, hello, Miss Carolyn. Thank you for joining me today. I'm just getting busy here. Okay, so we are creating with the delicate dahlias. So let's go ahead and start stamping it and seeing how we might need to trim this down a little bit more. Now, do you know that you can practice on your grid paper? Let me move this up. Do you see my messy grid paper down here? I covered it up. I didn't want you to see my messy grid paper. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, so that stamp is going on to cardstock. So again, this is rich Razzleberry. It's a beautiful raspberry fuchsia color. And we just tap And I do recommend that you have a foam pad under your photopolymer stamps. And I think I sent my foam pad to the other table. So let's see if it turns out just fine. Beautiful. Now let's add our leaves. And it's always okay to stamp off the edge of your paper. Does not have to be the full image. In fact, it looks more realistic this way. There we go. Now I'm going to come back with this layer and go right over the top. Just like that. Fills in beautifully. Oh, I agree. I love spring too. It's always been my favorite season because with winter here it's dark and dreary and end of winter is muddy, and so spring feels so refreshing. I love all the seasons. I love the changing seasons. But spring just is literally a breath of fresh air after the daunting winter. Okay, so trying to think, how am I going to layer these? Well, we're going to have to chop this off. So I've got about 2 inches, but I think what I want is more. So we're going to go with the 2.5. Oh no. 3 inches? I guess we'll start with 3 inches, and I'm going to chop these leaves off. Oops, that was a scoring blade. Okay. So put that there. Let's go ahead and close the ink. Otherwise, I'm likely to put something into the ink. And I need to cut my card base, so it's scored at 5.5. Cut the length at 4.25 inches, or just the halfway mark. And we'll put that aside. I'm going to grab my, I want to do a strip of this paper. So I think we'll add it in here and we'll cut 1 inch off. By 5 to match that layer. And then I'm going to take my Stampin' blends and I'm going to color in these leaves. The nice thing is that our blends colors have a variation of application, and so even though this is the Old Olive Light, it coordinates very nicely with our Pear Pizzazz, which means we don't have to have a blend for every single color when they are similar in hue, because the light and the dark are all variations of the color. And however much you apply makes a difference on the darkness. So just remember your application determines your saturation. You like that rhyming? It's the day for rhyming. All right. So I'm going to come back, I think it's 7:30 Mountain Time this evening to do a live and share photos with you on this same Facebook business page for Inspired Stamping. So you'll get to see all sorts of designs and styles from my stamping demonstrator friends all over the country. They're called card swaps, and we each send our design, 20 copies of the design, to the coordinator, and then she swaps them into all the different bags, so we each get one of each design back. And it's marvelous to get all of that inspiring card designs in our hands. So many different techniques and so many talented. Okay, so there is my layer. I'm just going to lay it all together and see how it's coming together. I might flip it. Like that. We still have our sentiment to figure out where to place it. So maybe we'll go back with putting it up and placing it in here somewhere so it overlaps. It doesn't really fit in that white space, so I'm going to chop a 1/4 inch off so that I can show a little bit more of that designer series paper that we just colored. So it will go in like this. Do you see where I'm going with my design? Okay, so this is my extra cardstock here. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. Right there. Oh goodness, and be careful that you don't stick your fingernails into your ink pad. They get inky. So we really need ribbon. So let's find our seam binding. I think that our white seam binding is the right way to go, and this is brand new. So I'm going to need to get under that plastic edge. Sometimes I just pinch it and then I can get, oh goodness, the scissors. So I am determined that I will be growing dahlias next year. My father-in-law is extremely talented and very devoted to growing his dahlias, and so I'm hoping to learn from him and grow some beautiful dahlias myself. So I am looking for my Label Me Fancy punch, but maybe, nope, the oval is okay. We're going to go with the oval. So I'm going to trim that. Have you ever seen somebody use a Post-it to be a handle? And you just slide it in there. The This Post-it is being a little sticky. Well, so much for a lesson on the fly. So we're just gonna slide it in there. This is good. The white layer can be right here, and then I can do a scalloped layer. Okay, so you see I've lined it up in there, and then punch it. So now I'll go back and do a scalloped layer in the beautiful Razzleberry. Okay, so I'm just going to line that up in there and punch it. This is why it's nice to have scraps on hand, because you can get all these little shapes in a quick pinch. So see how beautifully they layer together. You know, I might even rotate our little dahlia that direction. What do you think? Which way should it go? Oh, maybe it should go like that. Yes, I'm thinking that's how it should be. Okay, so I'm gonna get my adhesive, and actually I'm gonna go with glue. Do you know glue is my favorite? Glue is my favorite because then I can, oops, we don't put glue on the edges, we put it at the outside. I mean the middle, right in the middle. Okay, so there is the layered sentiments, and the glue gives you some wiggle room to get it centered right on that under layer, a little loose piece of cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and add my dimensionals now, but I'm not taking the backing off. So they're ready to be adhered, but they are not sticky. There we go. Okay, so now it's going to go over here. Now I'm going to decide how to do my ribbon. And first we'll go ahead and adhere the DSP onto our Pear Pizzazz layer. And you just want to make sure these margins, whoops, I'm off the camera, sorry. I'm just trying to get the margins around the sides and the bottom of this layer to be even. Next, I'm going to wrap my ribbon around and tie a bow. Now I know bow tying frustrates some people, so you could just tie a knot and then separately do a bow that goes over the top. But I use my pinky to hold the knot, and then push that through there. It's always so much easier if I'm not on camera. There is the gist of making this bow. And then pull your tails and your loops to tighten it up to the size you like. And the cheat, sneaky way is to, you can just slide it up, put a little bit of adhesive on the back side here. Here we go. Oh, it does not want to roll. There we go. So I'm going to trim that tail. Oops, come on. These are not the ribbon scissors. Can you see why they are not the ribbon scissors? They are chewing my ribbon. Here they are. Nope. They have the beautiful jewelry on them because they are the ribbon scissors. So let's just cut those angles. And That one loop is larger and that just is not going to work for me. There we go. So this adhesive is meant to gather up the seam binding if it's loose. Just slide that over a little bit. And then anything that's loose can be pinched into that adhesive and it will hold it. Kind of like gathers up the, so it's going to be tight on the front and gathered up there. Okay, so next we're going to adhere this. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put it, should I put it under the ribbon or over the ribbon? I think we need to slide that bow a little bit further to the left. So just run your finger along, loosen it, and slide it. Just like that. And then if it's, there we go. All right, so now let's lay this out again. Okay, it's coming together. Oh, so you think I should put the, well, with the bow moved over now, I can't put it over. So I'm going to slide this in here. Again, I'm watching the margin along this corner of how I'm going to lay this out. You got our DSP. And our ribbon. And now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the card base. Now that I've determined that that ribbon is staying where it is. But you can see if I'd attached it, I couldn't have moved that ribbon all over the place. Benefit of keeping it loose. Okay, so there we go. I have to trim this ribbon. Just a little crazy ribbon. It's interesting how on the card it can look fine and then all of a sudden it looks too big. Okay, so they don't have to be exactly the same, but they definitely need to look similar, and that cut got a little crooked. So now we will come back with our sentiment from the oval punch and place it right there. All right, that is our Delicate Dahlias, Rich Razzleberry, Pear Pizzazz color combo with the very elegant designer series paper that I just put down. There it is. It is the beautifully penned designer series paper in black and white prints that you can use just as is, or you can color them like I did today with my Stampin' Blends alcohol marker to bring in that extra detail. Now, because I like coordinating and there's got to be something here, we're going to grab some matte black dots And I'm going to clear my space. But just in case you have any questions, it was Pear, Pizzazz, and Rich Razzleberry. They are an awesome color combo. So let me get the fabulous Take a Pick tool for our matte black dots. And I'm just going to take 3, and I think they're going to, I'm not pressing, I'm just gently laying down so that I can decide if I want to alter it. I'm thinking I want a little row of 3 right here. Or I might want to sprinkle them around. What do you think? Does that look good, or should I sprinkle them around? I feel like the black helps anchor it all together. Oh dear, I got an angry face and somebody's laughing. Well, oh, thank you, Corinne. You think that's good? Okay, I think that helps fill that little spot so that it's not a naked area. And just kind of line them up. Because once I press them down, I want that adhesive to have a nice, good hold. I don't want these popping off. Okay, thank you so much for giving me the vote of confidence. All right, we did it. We made a marvelous new card design on the fly, live with the Delicate Dahlias. And I appreciate your help. Phew. Okay, so the Delicate Dahlias stamp set is free during celebration. And if you place an order online, you can choose this as your gift. Again, celebration only has 9 more days. And so if you're thinking to do some more shopping, make sure that you get your order in. Oh, thank you, Judy and Kim, for the the help with the 3 in a row. I am sad that I need this card, but I am happy that they will get something that's beautiful and thoughtfully made. A handmade card is just full of thoughts for the person, and you can't go wrong with sharing your crafting and your love through a handmade card. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or need help with your stamping, I would love if you'd reach out to me, and I will try to get back to you within the day. I appreciate that you've joined me today, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday at noon for live stamping. And then tonight at 7:30, I will be back, same place, to share some amazing cards from other Stampin' Up! Leaders that I've shared with. So, you all have a good day. Bye-bye.